This is Gail again, back for part two. This is part two of the ministry. So I hope everyone was able to view part one. So we're going to go into part two. Okay? Again, shalom to everyone. I'm glad to be back with you all again. And we're going to finish where we left off at. Okay? So let's get started. I'm ready to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with you. And we're going to do what we do. Alrighty then. All right, we ready? Here we go. I'm gonna move my picture up again. I can grab it. There we go. All right, of course, a disclaimer. We always do that. Everybody knows this is timing. Prophet Okoti, timing McGee, Nabiya, that is in Hebrew for prophetess. That is just denoting my gender. Ministry is prophet, gender is prophetess. It's a ministry that I do walk in, that I have been called to, and I don't make any apologies about it. It is synonymous, prophet is synonymous with cross persecution. So they both begin with a P. So it's not something that you really want to boast and brag about, because if you knew the legacy and the history that comes with walking in that ministry, it's nothing to brag and boast about, believe me when I tell you. Okay, so we're about to get started. Again, we already know this is a prophet circle. This is where we gather. This is where I have a platform to share what the Most High has given me concerning the prophetic, concerning giftings, ministries, timings. That's my area of ministry. I flow there. I'm informed there. I have knowledge there. I have revelation there. This is just what He's given me. And I love it. I love the walk that I walk in with Him, and just want to just share with you what I got. All right. Again, this is part two of the ministry. Of course, that's on our ministry board. It's the ministry gifts. Now, I want to share this. Yeshua said, don't you know this is what Yeshua said, must be about my Father's business. This is found in the book of Luke. My screen is hiding the actual book. Let me see if I can move it for you right quick. That's Luke 2:49. Okay. So this is what Yeshua answered when his parents was looking for him. He let them know that he was about his Father's business. Okay. So my question is, are you about it? Are you about the business of the Father? Because I'm about the business of the Father. I'm about it. Are you about it? We're talking about ministry now. We're talking about doing ministry. That's what Yeshua was referring. He said he has to be about the Father's business. He was taking care of business. He was doing what he was called to do while he walked the earth. So that is my question to you are. I'm about the business. We say that slang in our culture, I'm about the business. Well, I'm about the business, the Father's business. And I want you to be about his business also. Business is Malachi is business. And that means ministry, it means employment, it means service, that you're working, you're doing a ministry, you're doing employment, and it does not refer to servitude, not like several work, like a slave. It does not refer to that. So I want to make sure that we know that when we are defining it, that's what it refers to. Ministry, when we talk about the business, because that's what we're doing. We're working his work. We're doing his, taking care of his business. When we say we are doing business, we're actually literally taking care of his business, okay? But not slave, not slave. It's a ministry. We're working with him in it, and it's like employment for us when we say, we work in the ministry. He takes care of us when we're in the ministry. When we go fully into the ministry, because you're working it already. You're working it. He's providing for you. I don't care if you do have a job. I've been having a job and still was in the ministry and didn't have none and had to totally depend on him. So I done did it both ways. See, I done had it both ways in my life. Homeless, still worked the ministry, and did have a place to stay, still worked the ministry. So I done had it on all different angles. I done did this thing all different angles. And so that's why I'm qualified to speak the way I do because he's given me permission to speak in these areas because I've walked that walk. I've walked with him as he took me in those areas, and he has anointed me and graced me to do the things that I do and to speak the things that I speak and to teach in these areas because I've walked with him and he pulled me through and walked me through it. So yes, he said, now I have given you authority. And that's where a lot of ministry is. So remember, we were going to talk about faith and the prophetic, how both of them are connected in ministry. When you are in ministry and you have faith and you walk and flow in faith, you are going to be connected to somebody that flows in the prophetic. It always does that. And I mean, the Most High sets it like that because they both need each other. So if you are one that you have strong faith, you can believe for the impossible, you carry the gifting of faith, you exercise faith. Someone that is prophetic or even a prophet will be drawn to your anointing and your grace because that prophet is carrying the word, the prophetic word, that spoken word. And you know that word always has to be received. It has to be received. Okay, it doesn't just go out. The scriptures tells us that his word does not go out empty, but it always performs that which he has spoken. So when that prophetic word is speaking, it needs a vehicle for it to be received, and faith is the thing forward. So a person that's flowing in the prophetic, as it's speaking out, those that have faith will be drawn to that anointing because they'll be able to hear. They'll be able to hear. They'll be able to hear what the Most High is saying, what the Ruach HaKodesh is saying. So you'll see those anointings joined together. They're just joined together. And it doesn't matter male or female. It could be two women. One will be strong in the prophetic. The other one will be strong in faith. He'll draw them together. Or it could be husband and wife. If you notice in ministry, when you got husband and wife, or you all together, if you notice husband and wife, one of y'all flow greater in faith, the other one flows greater in the prophetic. Now, you both can do both. You can have faith in the prophetic, both of y'all, but one of you all be a little stronger in one or the other. So one a major, one a minor, and then he can flip it. So the point what I'm trying to make is that they both will flow because one has to always give and one is going to be receiving, and they need each other. When the prophetic speaks, faith needs to be present to make sure that that word goes forth. Faith gives the prophetic the foundation. When that word is spoken, that faith says this thing is done. We got it. This thing is done. It's in agreement with the Most High. It is in agreement. When it hears the Most High speak by the Ruach HaKodesh, faith grabs that word and says, we got this thing. This thing is a done deal. Do you understand me? This is why faith pleases the Most High, because he knows when he's speaking through his prophet or through the prophetic as a whole amongst his people, he wants faith. That's why he's telling his people right now, I want you to trust me. I'm doing mighty works amongst you, and I need for you to trust me. No doubt, no unbelief. Know me here, what the Most High is saying. Know me here. I'm needing a people that are full of faith, that trust me here. And that prophetic voice is going to come forth. Faith is going to grab that prophetic voice, and the prophetic voice loves it when it's received. When someone is speaking prophetically, you don't have to tell them, did you receive or I received? They know in their ruach whether what they're speaking has been received. Let me tell you something too. When that prophetic word goes forth, I'm going to just say this. When that prophetic word goes forth, while faith needs to be there, because the Ruach is saying, because it has to shortly come to pass. Okay? When that prophetic word goes forth and faith is available, it shortly comes to pass because faith will grab it. Faith will grab that thing and timing will take place. Timing will take place. So that's why it's very important to have both of those there. Now, on the prophets, We're talking ministry right now, okay? We're talking ministry. Nabi. If you look it up in your Strongs, I just got the strong number that way. If you want to do a word study, okay, you can look it up that what that is. Nabi is the prophet. That is the name for the prophet, okay? Naba is what they do. That's the function. That is what the ministry, that's what that function does. That's what the prophet does. Prophesies or speaks. Again, there's a strong that you can take a look at that if you want to do that. Get a drink of water. Okay. So now we got Navi is prophet. Nava is what they do, the function. That's what they do, is the prophecy, and it speaks. Then you got Naviya, and that is the prophetess. That is her, the prophet, but it's in a gender form of a female. Okay. So did y'all notice that in Naviya, it has Yah's name right there, Yah? But anyway, that is the female prophet. Nabiya, one who speaks by inspiration, one that can speak implication, one that speaks and can speak forth. That's the Nabiya. We know the Most High, it's an anointing, it's his spirit. So he is not limited to use whoever he wants to use. And he calls the prophets by name. He calls the prophets by name. He calls them by name. So when you have that calling on your life, when you are one, it is nothing to be afraid of, and people should not be afraid of prophets, just like they shouldn't be afraid of teachers or mores. They shouldn't be afraid of pastors. They shouldn't be afraid of evangelists. They shouldn't be afraid of any of the fivefold, okay? But when you say prophet, it's okay if you are a prophet. If the Ruach has called you to be that, then that's who you are. You don't have to make an apology. You don't have to make an apology about what he's called you to be. Yes, it's going to bring persecution because, like I said, it begins with the P, and that means prophet, and it begins with the P, and it's equivalent to persecution. That's what the two P's stand for: prophet, persecution. Every time Yeshua talked about the prophets, it was synonymous with persecution. He said they were killed, they were persecuted. It's just a part of a lifestyle as a prophet. So yes, when we say that, we're not saying that boastfully. This is what he's called us. This is the ministry that he has given us. So it comes with persecution. There's a lot that it has its nature, it has a character to it. It's not just what people judge so harshly when it comes to the prophet. If you say one bad thing, you ain't a prophet. Really? That's What about if you teach one thing and it wasn't true? Are you not a teacher anymore? How about if you pastoring and you abuse someone, or maybe you didn't do it right or take care of them properly? Are you no longer a pastor? We got to make sure we are judging. We're going to have to judge it across the board. Across the board, because there's a lot of that comes with the prophet. It's not just we speaking forth. That is the main nature. But there's a lot that they do. There's a lot that they do in that. They are also teachers. They teach the supernatural, okay? They speak prophetically. So if you got what I'm basically trying to say, I don't want people to be fearful of that. I don't want you to cast a thought that is something to be fearful of, or is fake, or you put them on a higher standard than any of the other giftings. They all belong to Yeshua. They all belong to Yeshua. You belong to Yeshua. So if there's anything, any misunderstanding, let's please pray about it. I know he called me by name. I don't have to make no bones about it. I'm okay with it. It comes with a lot of persecution. Believe me, you don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want this. Okay? And there are different types of prophets too. They all have different assignments. They're all not the same. They all have different ministries. I myself am a social activist prophet. So I'm very into uh, those things dealing with his people, social issues. He's called me for that. He has gifted me with faith. So I go into areas some people will not go into. He'll send me into those areas. I speak things that maybe some people may not speak, but he'll get me to do it. Okay. So in the when you would say a comparison, I see myself at times having a Jehu spirit, Jehu, Jehu, that came up against Jezebel, that come up against the witchcraft, and he was a warrior for those things that need to be pulled down. The Most High used him in the Book of Kings. So that's the kind of grace that I carry. That those hard areas, that he'll send me into those hard areas. All hard areas, no, no, no. And I don't boast there. I'm telling you, he knows what you can handle. He knows what you can do. So I wanted to kind of bring out that particular ministry because I walk in that ministry. That's a grace that I have. I walk in it. I don't want the people of the Most High to be fearful of it. It's not a fearful, it's a beautiful ministry. It blesses and waters his people. It blesses and waters his people. And that's what that ministry does. That's the ministry of the prophet. Now, this area here is a great area. Remember, we just talked about the prophetic, how faith and prophetic are one when it comes to ministry. And I'm also tell you, faith has got to be there. Faith is the thing that will cause you to stand. Watch my other videos. I've already talked about this. I don't want to kind of go back over it, but you're going to need faith in this season. Okay. Now, when a person has faith, to them, I'm going to tell you, anytime they hear unbelief, doubt, anxiety, it is such a vexing to them. It's just a vexing because they're walking in faith. Their life is a life of faith. Okay, they believe. They just believe the Most High. They trust him. They really trust him. So when they hear doubt, unbelief, anxiety, they quickly will come in and try to encourage you to trust him, encourage you, just believe, encourage you, it's going to be all right, encourage you, because they can hear and discern unbelief real quick. So unbelief, when it talks, it can and will never convince me when I'm in faith. And you say that for you. When you hear unbelief speaking, you just know in your mind, because it's always trying to convince you to change your position or move from believing and trusting the Most High. It'll come in and present scenarios and circumstances, because it always likes to dwell on circumstances. It likes to let you see that what's happening right now, this thing is right now, so you really know that what you were believing for, that thing can't be, because look at what's happening right now. So it always wants to bring you into the natural realm to let you be connected to that which is already there, and then get you all sidetracked and you all dismayed and you just, that is what I see. Remember, unbelief can and will never convince you, and it will try hard. It wants to move you off of your place. It wants you to be double-minded. It wants you to be double-minded. So now you say, well, maybe it wasn't right. That's a key. Watch that. Okay, because it's always trying to convince you, but you stand your ground. You stand on the word, you stand on whatever the Most High told you, and that's what it is. And there is no compromise. There is no other discussion. I'm so sorry for you. You tell that spirit of unbelief, I'm so sorry for you, but it is what it is. I can hear your unbelief. That's what you're saying in yourself. I can hear your unbelief, and your spirit inside you will immediately check it. Your spirit inside you will let you know that's doubt. You're hearing doubt right there, or fear. When I hear fear, I can discern fear so quickly. When your words and your action, I can hear it. I can hear when you are projecting fear on people. Because and many times when people don't understand something or they can't identify with it, they will project fear because they don't understand that. So it's going to be this way because I don't really understand it. So they're projecting fear. You have to be very careful, even in ourselves. If it's something we don't understand, it's just a natural human reaction that we'll project well, really it's so and so on, just a doubt, to place a bit of doubt because we don't understand and we don't get it. So we're going to make sure we place doubt in others so that they can doubt. But don't be very careful, because the Most High is going to deal with us about that. That's not good. It's not good for us to do that. Even when we don't understand, maybe we should humble ourselves and say, you know what, I don't know. But do not cast fear, because I'm telling you, he knows fear. And someone that is speaking, or you're in an area of someone that has faith, they know when they hear fear from you too. You may not say fear. You may not think you're saying fear, but they can pick up in their spirit that fear is being spoken, fear is being projected, and the people grab that and it makes them anxious. Now they're fearful. Now they're skeptical. You have to always move and walk in faith. The scripture tells us anything you do in faith. And without faith, if you do it out of faith, it's sin. So make sure that you are moving in faith. It pleases him. It lets the Most High know you trust him. So make sure you're doing that. If it's something you don't understand, and many times those are things we don't, try not to check yourself. Check yourself. We do it. Sometimes I even find myself doing it, especially if something that maybe I want to deal with, you'll start you're trying to convince. That's what it does. It tries to convince the person that may believe. They may believe that, but because you don't understand it, you're going to try to convince them that it's not that. And that is a sign of unbelief. So that's just a little bit of discernment. So you want to say to yourself, to that spirit, so stop trying, because it's going to keep on trying to convince you. So you just say to your spirit, stop trying. You can't move me. I believe. So stop trying to convince me, because I'm not moving. I'm like a hard Gibraltar rock, and I am not moving. I'm on the solid rock. So stop trying to convince yourself of unbelief, because you are not going to be able to convince me. Unbelief always causes you to work harder. Unbelief, you could be in a place of rest, resting in the Most High. Unbelief will come to move you out of position and to get you to start struggling and striving. Do you understand me? And before you know it, you're out of faith, because now you're struggling. But that's what unbelief will. It'll make you work. Because see, it don't believe. So it's not resting in the Most High. But it's going to cause you, if you don't trust and stay firm in your foundation, it'll move you out of your place of rest into a striving. Now you're working. Now you're going to make this thing work. Well, he told you just do this. Do this. Just trust me and obey and do this. So now you're not doing it because fear is the main reason why you don't. Fear or rebellion. You don't do it. So now you find yourself trying to make that thing happen. Now you're working it. You just working it. Well, why are you working so hard? You know why? Because unbelief came and you chose unbelief instead of trust. So now you're struggling and you're working hard when all you had to do is trust the prophetic word, because it always comes. The prophetic word comes first to tell you about the time to shift or whatever it is that you need to do. When you choose to disobey or you're in rebellion, then now you're on the other side of the coin. So now you're going to be working, striving, and it's going to be hard, just hard. That's why, you know what, Yeshua told Paul, he said, it's hard to kick against hard to kick against a place where you really ain't supposed to be. It's a struggle for you. And it's hard for you. So just make sure these are the discernments I'm telling you. It's always going to try to convince you, unbelief, and it always, once you're there, it's going to cause you to work harder than what it was supposed to be, because you are now out of his will. Now you're out of his rest, and now you're working that thing, and it's hard too. It's just hard. And then and you be in a cycle. You be in a hard cycle, going around and going around, and you're sweating and you're going around, and you're trying to figure out why I can't get out of this, because you chose at some point to not believe. And when you chose that, there you go, babe. You're going to work that thing. Work it, because you're definitely going to be working it. Now, your other thing is, I say in my spirit, to the unbelief, your lack of trust is not going to cause me to work overtime. See, when that unbelief speaks, it has no faith. It does not trust. But do not allow it to cause you to work overtime. And that I'm not even speaking literal overtime, but I can apply it there. I'm gonna tell you why I can apply it there. Let's say the Most High has already, you're on your job or whatever, and Most High just told you, let's say he said, I'm gonna provide, I'm gonna work this right here for you. I don't want you working overtime because our culture is about money. The more money I make, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that. And we can't rest in him for where he even has us so he can provide. We just gotta just think we gotta have more and more and more. So now the system got you working overtime, overtime. You working, you trying to grab every overtime uh, chance you get. You're working, you ain't praying, you ain't at home praying because you at work. You ain't at home consecrating because you at work. You just working and just, I gotta get that money. The sister said, come and get it, come and get it. We got it. And we running, especially our people. We just running for money. We don't care where it's at. We gonna get the dollar. We gotta get it. So we're just steadily working, steadily trying to buy material things, steadily trying to do this, steadily trying to whatever those things. And I'm not saying those things are wrong. I'm just saying the element of just us working and just, we gotta have it. We gotta keep working. So now you're out of a place of rest because now you're working hard. And remember, when you're working real hard, you can best believe you're probably not in faith because he's probably told you to do something a certain way or do or buy a certain thing or not buy a certain thing, and you chose to do it anyway. We choose to do it because of our appetite, our flesh. We want these things. So then now we're working to get those things or trying to maintain those things. And now we find ourselves just working. We're just working hard too, working hard for the money. So just make sure we're in a place of obedience. And I'm telling you, walking this walk of faith, baby, I can tell you some things. I can share some things with you. And I know it looked like, she ain't got nothing. Look at her. Actually, my truck is 21 years old. 21, still driving the same truck, but it's mine. Oh, nobody, nothing. It's my truck. And the Most High keep it moving for me. And I'm so grateful. So grateful. I don't owe nobody for the truck. And you know what? I know he can bless me with new. And I know it's coming for me. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm good. You understand me? Because he can make that what you got last. He can keep that thing where, like he said, when they was out there in the wilderness, their shoes didn't wear out. Their clothes didn't wear out. And I know they didn't have the wardrobe that I currently have now. Okay. And the shoes, I got shoes. They didn't have all that. But theirs did not wear out because he kept it. So he can keep you in a place where you won't be struggling, where you won't be working so hard. And the hard work is unbelief because you're not resting in him. So I just want to just encourage you about faith with that. Also, this is a beautiful thing what faith does. I'm telling you, y'all, listen. Faith will preserve you. If you look back, even in the scriptures, in people, and you find out they walk in faith, they are so well preserved. I'm telling you, they are so well preserved. You could look at Joshua and Caleb. You see how he preserved them? Joshua, he died when he's 110, I think. 110. Caleb lived long because of faith. Faith will keep you and preserve you. I'm telling you, I was just reading the documentary, not the movie, but the documentary on Harriet Tubman, and she had faith. I really want to really get into her whole autobiography. I know they got a book for her. I want to read about. I'm just fascinated by faith. I'm fascinated by how the things I was seeing in the documentary was just amazing to me. How she just heard him, and she couldn't even read, y'all. Do y'all understand me? She couldn't read, but she was hearing instructions from the Ruach HaKodesh to tell her to go here, go through this woods, don't go back this way, don't go the same way you came, do this, do that. She said everything that she was doing, he was telling her exactly what to do. That's what faith does, because faith will hear. It will hear the word. It will hear his voice, and it obeys. And you know how she lived through all the Underground Railroad. She lived long enough to see freedom. She lived long enough to see the Emancipation passed by President Lincoln. She lived long enough to see that the Most High blessed her to live that long. So you get rewarded with faith. Faith will preserve you. I'm telling you, your strength will not be abated. You will continue. Do you understand me? I'm telling you, I love walking in faith. I love it. You get to know, you'll know the Most High in a way that many won't. Now, with those that flow in the prophetic, they have a way of knowing the Most High personally because they're getting revelation. He's dealing with them personally. It's a beautiful place. I flow in both. And faith, baby, faith. Ooh, man. Y'all, I'm telling you, man, when you walk in faith, you have a relationship. Oh, man, you always receiving. He just talks to you. He shows you. You can see. It really is like the prophetic to me. It looks so similar. It looks so similar because you can see. He lets you see things. You see manifestation. Oh, you see manifestation all the time when you walk by faith. You are never disappointed. You are never disappointed. You laugh, you smile because you see. You can see things that are going to manifest before they manifest because to you it's already done. So you just be smiling. You're not even moved. You laugh with him. Y'all laugh together. You and the Most High laugh together because he already showed you the plan and you already got it. You be like, oh, what? Okay. You laughing with him. And that's why it pleases him because he know you get it. He don't have to struggle with you. He just speak it and you get it. He ain't got to break it down and struggle with you with unbelief and try to convince you. You get it. As soon as he show you or speak to you, you like, oh, real? Okay, I got that. And he like, okay, let's roll with this. So now the thing is about to manifest because now faith is present. Faith is also bringing that timing. I'm telling you, it's bringing a timing for events to begin to materialize in the natural realm. That's why faith always recedes. Faith don't work. I'm telling you, faith don't kick a sweat. It just rests in him. It rests in the Most High. I'm telling you, it's such a rest. While everybody else is full of anxiety, faith be like, why y'all like that? Didn't he just say? Didn't he tell us this? Didn't he tell us to do this? See, faith trusts. And because faith trusts, the Most High never disappoints faith. The Most High does supernatural works because of faith. So you want to always make sure you're walking in faith. Yes, tell him to increase your faith if you want to. Yeshua said if you just got a grain as a mustard seed, which means it don't take much, just trust him on that little and it grows. You know what I'm saying? You know someone gonna be there for you. You ain't got to keep guessing and say, are you sure? So you say you're gonna come, right? But let me ask you again. But you did say you're gonna come, right? But I just want to make sure. All that is unbelief. Because if that person said they're gonna do something, you're gonna have to trust that they do it. But if you keep going, you did say it though, right? They in themselves know that you don't trust what I just told you. So now they're getting a little upset because they're like, I just told you that. Why you keep asking me? Don't you not trust? I told you I was coming to get you. I'm coming to do whatever. But you keep on calling, texting. So you still coming? So you did say that's unbelief because that means you're not really trusting the words or that person. Now, if you know their character and you know that they're trustworthy and you know they're faithful in their words, what they say they're going to do, then you don't even have to follow back behind them because you already know what blank blank said you'll be here. Or blank blank said that they're going to do so and so on. How you know? Oh, their character. I know they track record. They track record. You understand me? So this is where the Most High wants us at. He wants us to know because of his track record. When we got a track record, we got the Torah, we got the books of the prophets, we got the books of the judges, we got the scriptures. We even got the New Testament. We got how people have testified of his faithfulness. So we got a track record. So why are we doubting him? We're going to need him right here in this season. So I just want to give you that. Also, I want to share with you all, again with ministry. I want to go from Romans, the 12th chapter, verses 4 through 8. I'm going to read this. I'm having fun on this one. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. All members we all don't do the same thing. We all don't have the same giftings, even though there are 5 ministerial gifts. And then we got the 9 gifts, manifestation gifts of the Ruach HaKodesh. That's in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. We're going to cover that on another video. He said we all don't have the same. They have the same gift and the same office. Okay. And that, when I looked that up, it said practice, work, a function. You can look it up again. There's the Strong's reference. You know, my word is always pray. Just seek them. Seek them, let them give you the revelation on the word. That way you have your own revelation, okay? So it says, and it also meant repeatedly or habitually. So that's something that you do continuously. Like you walking in that office, you're walking in that anointing, that grace that's on your life. This is something that you do, okay? So we, many, are one body in Mashiach, and everyone members one of another. That goes that Ephesians 4, how we flow together, supplying, every member supplying what is needed for each part of the body. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given. That given is always something that you can, when you do a reference, you can see how Yahuwah, the Most High, that I have given. He always spoke past tense. Did y'all notice that? I have given, I have given, I have given. And many times those things had not even manifested, or it was not in the natural. But remember, we serve a Elohim that loves faith. So do you not think he's going to speak when we discern it? Faith? To him, it's natural. It's not even faith. That's just his nature. That's why he loves faith, because that is his nature. When he talks, he says, see, I have given. He's talking past tense. He's not waiting for anything to happen. It's already done as far as when he speaks. He's already created it when he spoke it. So when he's saying, I have given, when you see the word given, you know that came from Yahuwah. That thing came from Yeshua. Same nature, same exact nature. His word speaks of given, okay? So he said that it was given to us, whether prophesy, according to the proportion of faith, which means you cannot prophesy greater than your faith. I have many years ago, I learned a lot concerning faith from Dr. Lester Sumrall. Dr. Lester Sumrall really taught me about faith. And he was not a Hebrew. I'm telling you. But he walked in faith. That's what makes them to grab the things of the supernatural and to believe. Because it's just faith. I'm telling you. He will pass you up with your unbelief, being a Hebrew, and find somebody that got faith. He wants faith. That's what, better get it. Don't get twisted. Don't get deceived thinking, well, because I'm this and I got it. But if you ain't got faith, he'll pass you right on up. He's looking for faith. Who got it? Who got faith? Dr. Sumrall, he said this one time, and I remember this teaching. He even said you cannot speak greater than your faith. So if you got faith to believe for a donut, don't speak like you're trying to get a cake. So maybe your faith will be according to the donut. Then believe for the donut, and it's okay. Then as your faith grows, then you can believe for the cake, and then the wedding cake, okay? So he said prophesy according to your faith, which means if your faith is at this level, you're going to be able to prophesy here. Now, somebody may come in your presence that has greater faith that can believe for greater, because remember, Yeshua said there's nothing impossible to him that believes. So your faith may be here to believe for this, okay? And that's okay, because you got to start somewhere and it grows, right? And it grows according to you trusting him. Well, then you may come in the presence of somebody that got great faith, and baby, they'll take that thing to a whole nother level. And you looking at them like, now you may look at them like they in unbelief. You like, that ain't going to happen. Now remember, you have this faith, but now they're speaking so great. Now you're looking at them in unbelief like that can't happen. But remember, they walking in great faith. They walking in something great. So they can believe for the impossible. And it looks impossible to you with your level of faith. But to them, it's a no-brainer. They can speak so great, believe so great. And you looking at them. You understand me? So according to your faith, you prophesy. You can't prophesy no greater than your faith. He also said, or ministry or service. And I looked that word up and said fixed position, entered purpose, relation to rest. Now, when I used to read that, they always say, well, wait on your ministry. Just wait on your ministry. Wait on your ministry. But I didn't see anything about waiting in there. I didn't see anything about wait. I said it said rest. I see where it said rest. And that was, it says origin point where an action or motion proceeds. So basically, you're saying on ministry, you're going to rest in it. And it's coming from a point of origin. Okay. Because I hear a lot of people say, just wait on your ministry. Yeah, you're going to wait. You can't go no further than what he take you anyway. Right? Or he that teaches on teaching. Or he that exhorts on exhortation. The key thing is this. The Ruach HaKodesh provides the capability, the function, and the administration of the gift. So whether that is referring to weight, which I can't see that, I can see it saying if you're going to do this, do it according to your faith. The key was according to your faith. So based on your faith, ministry and faith, exhortation, your teaching is based on your faith, but you can't do anything. You can't do any of those things without the capability of the Ruach. So even in your ministry, even in your gifting, even in whatever you're doing, it is him that provides the function and the capability for you to do it. So you have to rely on him. So if they're using the reference of weight, it'll be in that sense that he has to do it in you. He can do it spontaneously in you. He can do it simultaneously. He can do it however he wants to do it in the time period or element he wants to do. But the key is that it's him doing it. So we want to make sure we know that that particular scripture, when I read it, I see that it falls right back again on the Ruach HaKodesh. So my question to you is, ministry, where do you fit? Purpose for ministry for you, where do you fit? Find out where you fit. This is the perfect opportunity to begin to seek the Most High if you don't know. I believe that when you set your heart to say, you know what he gonna drop it right there. He gonna let you know. It ain't gonna be no struggling and striving in this season, in this time period. You know why? There's faith that's already done went forth in your behalf. There has been faith already that has went forth in your behalf. So as you, in the sincerity of your heart, if you don't know, in the sincerity of your heart, in your Ruach, when you go ask him what, I promise you, he is going to answer you with signs and manifestation, letting you know this is what it is. He gonna bring back to you how he's already dealt with you over the years to let you know. Because we are not going to be not knowing in this season. I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very plain. I'm really waiting to teach on some other things I got concerning revelation and the handwriting on the wall. It's going to be so amazing as the Most High gives me space and time, I'll begin to share. But we are living in an exciting, exciting time as a people, as we begin to see him move for us, as he begins to show us where we fit. Where's our place in the ministry? Where's our place in the giftings that he has placed us? Because he got it all mapped out. He knows who you need to be connected to. He knows who needs to come into your life. He knows whose life you need to come into. You understand me? But he's got it all set. And that's why location is very important. You want to make sure you're where he tells you to be. You don't never, ever, ever, family, listen, do not move in fear. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you don't understand. I don't care if it's that you may not know. Just talk to him and seek him. Say, you know what, Father, I'm coming to you. I don't know, but I trust you right here. He will not disappoint you. You will not miss him. But whatever you do, receive in faith, walk in faith, talk in faith, move in faith. Do not move in unbelief. Make sure in this season you do not move in unbelief. And ask the Most High to put a checker in your spirit when you hear it. When you hear unbelief or doubt, that it'll check you to let you know that's not him. Stand fast on his word. Stand fast on what he says. Believe and trust him. He will never fail you. He's never failed us, and his timing is impeccable. His timing is so on point. You will begin to see that manifest, and that was going to put a smile on your face, because you know the saying that I say, and I live by this: there are no coincidences. There are no coincidences. So I want to share that with you. It's going to be a great season. You're going to find out where you fit. He's going to make sure that he gives us everything that we need. And I got a prophetic word today. I wanted to share it with you all. You know, this is my little corner for prophetic insight. And I got one when I woke up this morning, and I want to share it again. I'm sharing out of the ministry of a prophet, out of the ministry of a prophet. Yes, you can call me a prophetess because of my gender, but I'm speaking out of the ministry of a prophet. Okay? Well, I got this word this morning. I heard visitation. Plan for a visitation. I don't know what kind. That's all I got. I don't know what it consists of, but I'm going to be prayerful concerning it. But I heard this morning, early this morning, visitation. Plan for a visitation. So I am looking, and I'm going to prepare myself and allow him to prepare me. He knows what needs to be done in me, or what I need to be doing, so I can prepare for a visitation. I believe something great is about to take place. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I haven't gotten any insight. Okay. When I receive and he gives me release to give it to you, then that's what I give to you. If I haven't received, I ain't got them for you. Okay. But that which I do have, I am able to give it to you. I like to give that to you. So visitation is about to take place. He said, plan for one. So which means that we need to prepare. I'm going to be personally making sure that I'm in a place, whatever he wants me to do for this. But I'm telling you, and I know there's a lot going on next month, October, even in the natural. I know Josh Morey was talking about 2020, and they're saying about October. Let's just be so prayerful. We got the Feast of Trumpets coming up. We're going to proclaim and we're going to blast on this weekend coming. Like I said, we're just doing a memorial for the Feast of Trumpet. We're not trying to do no dates and try to get all locked in. The Most High will honor faith. That's all we're doing, is just honoring him in a memorial for this. We're doing it by faith. We're just trusting him. We're anticipating a move for him. So I just want to share that with you about the visitation. We'll see what happens. Again, on my other video, I told you all about what was in my Ruach. And if you all want to do that, please speak it out and decree. Manifest your glory, Father. Manifest your glory. And just begin to speak that and decree that in the atmosphere. Speak and decree it in the atmosphere. Do so by faith. Do so by faith. Manifest your glory, Father. Manifest your glory. Faith is anticipating that. Faith is welcoming that. So he is going to perform. He is going to produce. So I wanted to share that with you, that you can do that. Also, if you got any questions, anything you want to talk to me about, feel free to reach me at theprophetcircle@gmail.com. I don't kind of check the email regularly. I haven't had, nobody's emailed me. So I will try to check it a little bit more, but I haven't checked it. But you are welcome to contact me that way. Listen, I got something for you all. I'm gonna put something up in another video very soon. We got to have a plan B. Be prayerful. I know the Most High can do whatever he wants to do. Believe me, I can believe him for the impossible. Do you understand me? But I'm also going to be wise in what he tell me if there's something we need to do. Okay? So you're going to be working both. You're going to definitely trust him. That's a solid foundation. But even in your trust, wisdom will be speaking to you by his voice to tell you, okay, so now I need for you to do this. Because really, faith will just stand. That's what faith does. It just receives, rests, and stand until it gets directions from the Most High by his Ruach HaKodesh. Then it begins to move. See, because now it's gotten orders, instructions. So now it begins to move. But until it gets instructions, faith will stand, faith will rest, faith will trust. You understand me? So we will begin to speak more about how those things work together, how it presents a beautiful picture to the Most High Yah regarding our relationship towards Him. So I just want to thank everyone. I thank you for taking the time out with my video. I hope this one went long, but that was part 2 of ministry. I don't know if there may be a part 3. I know I'm going to be doing one whenever he tells me on the gifts, First Corinthians. Why I can teach on that? When you walk in those gifts, and they all have their own personality based on the person, but it's still the gift. It's still the Ruach HaKodesh presence and manifestation in a person's life. So the teaching on it may be similar to someone else's teaching because it still carries the same essence, but how it manifests may be different based on who that person is, okay? So we're going to begin to talk about those gifts because a lot of you are already flowing and you may not just have understanding. I'm coming to bring the understanding that I have concerning that so that it'll enlighten you a little bit and you'll be able to understand a little bit better. So love you, family. Again, we'll see about whenever I do another video next week, we'll see. Well, as I'm being led, but I enjoy giving it to you. I enjoy making the YouTube videos. I love you all. It's going to be a great time for us. Be encouraged. Do not be doubtful. Do not be fearful, but give him what he wants. And he loves faith. So give him what he wants. Take care. Love you. I'm about to shut the video off as soon as I find out how to do it.